welcome. Now we're at part 3, but I just wanted to make a few comments on this proof to kind of highlight what we're doing because this is going to be kind of common. So here we go. So remarks. So the first one that I wanted to make is that so in this proof and often, so and many others, right? Many others, right? We're going to use, we've kind of talked about this before, but I'm going to kind of highlight that this is happening, that if we know that A divides B, so if we have that A divides B, right? So if we're in a circumstance like this, where we know that A divides B, right? Then we know, right, there exists a m in the integers. So we know that there is some m in the integers, right? So that we have B equals m times A, so B is going to equal m times A, right? And another remark, so this is, when we know that A divides B, then we have a way to write B in terms of A, and that can be very useful. And, right, in order to prove, so we didn't do this in this one, but we have done this in some of the other proofs that we've done, which is that in order to prove that A divides B, right, what would we need? Like, we'd need to actually find this integer. We'd have to find and show it works. Right, an integer m, so an integer m, right, which would satisfy, and then we want that B equals this integer m times A. Okay, that is supposed to be an A, and it's just written quite nicely. There we go. Now it looks more like an A. Not really. Okay. There we go. Okay, so, this is just, we've talked about this a number of times, but I know it takes a while to get used to this, which is that, you want to often rewrite things in a way that is useful, and so that we can use some of these definitions allow us to do that. If it's a there exists definition, a lot of times it allows us to write something in a way that gives us something to work with, and we do use that in here. In this particular one, we didn't use the second part, but we've used it in proofs before, or at least in explanations before, which is that if I wanted to actually prove, so now if I had a definition like this, and I wanted to prove that this was satisfied, I'd actually need to find the integer and show that it works. In this one, I can use that the integer exists. In this one, in order to prove I have this, I have to find the integer and show that it works, i.e. that we have this and it's an integer. Okay, so I hope that was helpful and made some sense, and I will see you in the next lecture. Sure.